Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. Al Horford is about to sign with the Warriors. The only remaining issue is for the Warriors to resolve the Jonathan Kuminga issue. But the delay in resolving the situation could lead to Al Horford's departure. The Warriors want to sign Al Horford as a reinforcement, and this could happen this week. Al Horford was a top 5 pick in the 2007 NBA draft. Since then, he has carved out an accomplished professional basketball career. His crowning achievement, hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy after an NBA Finals victory, came in 2024, but he is also a 5-time All-Star and was named to 2 postseason All-NBA teams, the league's 3rd team in 2011, and the 2nd defensive team in 2018. The veteran center is heading into his 19th NBA campaign, but it is not yet known where he might spend that season, as he, like a number of other players, remains a free agent. Retirement rumors have surrounded Horford for much of the offseason, but he has also reportedly drawn interest from the Atlanta Hawks, Golden State Warriors, Los Angeles Lakers and Milwaukee Bucks this offseason, according to ESPN's Mark J. Spears. The Warriors appear to be the frontrunners for Horford's signature, though, with ESPN's Anthony Slater going as far as to write that the Warriors are treating Horford as if he is a firm part of their plan next season. There aren't any indications that such a deal will be struck soon, especially since the Warriors front office's top priority at the moment is resolving its ongoing contract situation with Jonathan Kuminga. But if Horford is indeed joining the Warriors for the 2025-26 season, Slater expects Horford to inherit a big role. Horford would slide in as the presumed starting center, lessening the regular season load on Draymond Green, which is a priority. Horford's ability to pass and defend fits well into the Warriors' system. His ability to shoot from the center spot is something they've been sorely lacking, Slater wrote. Horford is 39. He hasn't been playing both sides of back-to-backs. The Warriors can't rely on him to be an every-night 25-minute option. But the desire is to have him in the lineup when it matters and open up space for 5-man combinations, which would especially benefit a downhill driver like Kuminga. Horford, in what was his final season with the Celtics, averaged 9.0 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.1 assists per game across 60 regular season contests last year. Al Horford is winning over Warriors fans even before signing. The veteran is undeterred by the stalled process. Al Horford may not have even signed with the Golden State Warriors to this point, but his patience is already proving a virtue to the franchise and is winning the respect of fans this offseason. Like many of the current players left on the market 6 weeks into free agency, Horford is waiting on the futures of the 4 main restricted free agents and in particular Warrior forward Jonathan Kuminga. Al Horford is happy to wait before signing with the Warriors. There's angst among some Golden State fans that will remain until Horford officially signs, but the 39-year-old is happy to hold out and sign unless he wants to head into retirement, as ESPN's Anthony Slater reported on Monday. The Kuminga situation continues to hold up business for them, keeping Horford in a holding pattern. But Horford is comfortable waiting. Retirement remains on the table, sources said, though the Warriors appear to be operating as if he is a firm part of their plan next season, Slater wrote. While patience can also be respected among the likes of DeAnthony Melton, Gary Payton II, Seth Curry and others who could potentially be in the mix for the Warriors to sign, Horford is easily the highest caliber player on the market and the one that would generate the most interest if he was deemed available. The Los Angeles Lakers were linked to the veteran center at the start of free agency but have since signed multiple players including centers DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes. The Denver Nuggets were also mentioned as a possible suitor for Horford given the uncertainty around the trade acquisition of Jonas Valanciunas and a possible move back to Europe, but a desire to keep the Lithuanian to his NBA contract took them out of the running. Of course, Horford could still easily break Warrior hearts by announcing his retirement, leaving them with a major hole at the center position that wouldn't be easily filled. It doesn't look like he'll be rejecting them to return to the Boston Celtics or join a rival though, something he could have easily done by now had he lost patience with how Golden State are handling the Kuminga situation. Horford is expected to sign with the Warriors on the $5.7 million non-taxpayer mid-level exception, becoming their starting center on a team looking to make one more push for a championship with the current veteran core of Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. Grade the trade pitch: a realistic Suns-Warriors Jonathan Kuminga sign-and trade. A realistic Suns-Warriors sign-and trade that doesn't include Buddy Hield or Moses Moody is a bit underwhelming. In a perfect world, the Golden State Warriors would receive everything they're asking for in a Jonathan Kuminga sign-and trade. Golden State would walk away with a developable talent, a quality veteran, and draft compensation to set the team up for the present and the future in one fell swoop. In a more realistic world, however, the Warriors are facing a brutal reality that the Phoenix Suns can help facilitate a step forward. It just won't be quite as massive a leap as one might hope. Phoenix has been listed among the teams that are interested in acquiring Kuminga. The logistics have proven insurmountable at this stage, however, with base year contract rules and Golden State's preferred return thus far preventing a deal from going through. Thankfully, the Suns are in a position to make an offer that the Warriors should at least consider: Oso Ighodaro, Royce O'Neal, Nick Richards, and a future first-round draft pick. Assuming Kuminga's 2025-26 salary starts at $22 million, Golden State could make this trade and better position itself for the future and the present alike, in an underwhelming manner. Suns can offer Warriors realistic opportunity to improve, but they'd be wise to want more. Ighodaro is a 23-year-old former second-round draft pick who has showcased intriguing two-way potential. He's an athletic modern big who has impressive court vision for a player his size and the upside to excel in a defensive role. The reason the Warriors might think twice about acquiring Ighodaro, however, is that Tracy Jackson-Davis offers much of the same already. Unfortunately, Phoenix is unlikely to include Ryan Dunn in a potential deal, and Ighodaro is one of the few alternative options. Royce O'Neal, meanwhile, is the prototypical 3-and-D wing with elite proficiency in catch-and-shoot situations. He shot 42.2% on catch-and-shoot threes in 2024-25, and is a proven commodity as a versatile defender who can pick up players at multiple positions. The hurdle in this scenario is simple: O'Neal is 32 years of age and has 3 years and $32,625,000 remaining on his contract, not necessarily a deterrent, but at least a cause for hesitance. Nick Richards is the true selling point in the sense that he has an expiring $5 million contract and starting caliber production as a center. In 2024-25, he averaged 15.2 points, 13.4 rebounds, 4.2 offensive boards, and 1.6 blocks per 36 minutes, and ranked number 11 in the NBA in rebounding percentage. With his addition, the Warriors would be able to lock down the starting position and potentially create a championship-caliber balance between Richards and Al Horford. The deciding factor in this scenario, of course, would be which first-round draft pick Golden State would ask for, or perhaps if they could get more than one. Once again, there's a challenge in this regard. A vast majority of Phoenix's future first-rounders are already involved in pick swaps. It's the epitome of this realistic yet underwhelming potential trade return, certainly not bad, but flush with context that evens out the potential benefits. Warriors add Ighodaro, O'Neal, Richards, and a first-rounder for Jonathan Kuminga. Unfortunately, this is what a realistic trade with the Suns that wouldn't require the Warriors to include either Buddy Hield or Moses Moody would look like. Al Horford may absolutely screw the Warriors if they don't get their act together. This is not a done deal. As the Golden State Warriors have trudged through a largely uncertain offseason, there has been one main constant for the organization to cling to: their handshake deal with veteran center Al Horford. Yet, according to multiple ESPN insiders, retirement is still a real option on the table for Horford, and the longer the Warriors take to sign him, the greater the chance they have of missing out on their biggest target this offseason. Therefore, while Golden State has been held captive by their contractual standoff with Jonathan Kuminga, their inability to resolve the situation could come back to bite them as they attempt to build out their roster for next season. Horford's retirement could become more likely the longer the Warriors spend on Kuminga. As the Warriors have attempted to find common ground with their biggest asset this offseason, the front office and Kuminga, who is a restricted free agent this offseason, have been left at an impasse over the terms of a potential 2-year, tradable deal. While such a deal would allow both parties the flexibility they desire, Golden State has not budged from their demand for a team option after the first year. Kuminga, who is in no rush to sign a contract and can always fall back on the October 1st deadline for accepting his qualifying offer, effectively has the organization in a chokehold. The team cannot sign any free agents until they are fully aware of what their cap restrictions will be once the Kuminga contract is inked. Yet, among the various free agents with whom the team has negotiated handshake deals this offseason, including DeAnthony Melton and Gary Payton II, Horford is by far the biggest acquisition. Even at age 39, Horford could be a massive addition for the Warriors, who desperately need a reliable defensive presence in the paint and could rely on the veteran center to offset some of Quinton Post's growing pains at the position. Last season, Post was incredibly effective as a rookie for a second-round pick, shooting 40.8% from beyond the arc and receiving significant chunks of time in the starting lineup. Yet, in his first playoff matchups against Alperen Sengun and Steven Adams of the Houston Rockets, Post was entirely ineffective on defense. As a result of his general slow-footedness, it was rather clearly revealed through that series that Golden State cannot yet full trust Post to be the starting caliber center on a contending team. Therefore, if Horford retires, the Warriors could be left hanging Post out to dry on the defensive end, a non-ideal scenario for either party. Kendrick Perkins says why Stephen Curry wants to beat LeBron James so badly as Lakers vs. Warriors set for opening night. The NBA has announced that the Los Angeles Lakers will host the Golden State Warriors on the opening night of the 2025-26 season. This means that the two most popular players in the league, LeBron James and Stephen Curry, will face off for the 57th time. Curry currently leads the head-to-head 30-26, as they have formed one of the biggest rivalries in modern NBA history. Ahead of their next matchup, Kendrick Perkins has explained why he thinks the Golden State Warriors legend cares so much about defeating James. Kendrick Perkins shares theory on LeBron James vs. Stephen Curry rivalry. James and Curry are undoubtedly the two greatest players of the 2010s era, and at one point, there were discussions over which was better. Those ended when the Cleveland Cavaliers came back from 3-1 down to beat the Warriors, as James elevated himself into the greatest of all-time debate. Perkins now thinks that Curry is so eager to beat LeBron because he feels like he should be held in the same regard as his rival. Because you have two all-time greats that, every time they step between those lines, they want to kick each other's ass. LeBron James wants to give Steph that work, and Steph wants to give LeBron that work, Perkins said. And we can look at the numbers, they speak for themselves. So when you have these two all-time greats, yes, they're OGs, but they're actually always competing to say, that's my block, homie. This is my turf. We talk about LeBron James being arguably the greatest player of all time, and rightfully so, but Steph feels like he should be in that conversation. So when they step between those lines, it's a brawl for it all. There's a reason they touched nearly 9 million viewers on Christmas Day. All eyeballs were on them because they never disappoint. LeBron James and Stephen Curry's Christmas Day opponents. James and Curry will also be involved in the Christmas Day slate of games, but not against each other. In the third game out of 5, Curry and the Warriors will take on Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, and the Dallas Mavericks. The fourth Christmas Day fixture will see the LA Lakers travel to the Houston Rockets, as James takes on another rival, Kevin Durant. Both the Lakers and Warriors have championship aspirations heading into the 2025-26 season, and they could even meet in the playoffs.